All right. So listen, you were telling me this crazy story. What was the story that you said you started to
Oh
tell me?
my gosh, I was pulling my hair out.
I
Last
did
week, I
that.
tried to order a green screen so that we could do our show. And everyone said, oh, go to this brand and that brand. So I looked up these top three brands on Amazon and I got freaked out because even though there were a lot of good reviews, I saw these amazing videos of people unpacking the boxes that saying, look at it's ripped, this is stained, it's got a bow at the top. And I freaked out. I said, I don't know which one. They all have bad reviews, at least one. So I didn't order anything and I had to borrow one from a friend.
Nice. And now it's we got something wrinkly and it's hard to look at. And nice job. Okay.
Yeah.
But that just shows you, right, the power of testimonials. Not only just testimonials, which we're going to tell you all about, but also video testimonials, which are the most effective. In fact, you got some kind of crazy stat, which you're going to talk about today. But listen, we don't want to waste your time. So let's tell you right now what we're going to tell you today, which is three big things. First of all, why are testimonials and reviews so important to your business? Second is, how do you actually get them? We get questions like this all the time. What's the best time to ask? And then, what should they look like if you really want to make sure that they're going to actually help boost your sales? Because a lot of reviews and a lot of testimonials look kind of like junk, and we're going to show you some really effective ones. So let's get started. All right. All right. So these are the benefits of using testimonials and reviews for small businesses. The first is you get to leverage the 6 weapons of persuasion. So people are influenced by 6 major triggers that suffice it to say that actual really good testimonial can actually leverage all 6 of these. But let's just talk a few. One is liking. Another one is kind of what they call the bandwagon effect. And the third is authority. And a good testimonial does all 3 of those with amazing. This is why they're so effective. And Robin, you were the one who told me about the second one, the website search rankings. What do you got about that?
So it's really important that when a happy customer and client writes you a review on any site, and including LinkedIn, or even sends you a great email about it, that you ask them to put it on Google My Business. We talked about Google My Business before in our first show episode, and right on that Google, right underneath your picture, put that review. It matters. People see it and Google sees it, and it improves your ability to continually show up on the first page or in that knowledge box on Google. And that's really critical. People forget that all the time.
And we're going to show you what an effective one should look like a little later, so stay tuned. All right, you know what else you can do with a really great testimonial is like magically it can help close sales. We just read a stat the other day, I think from Wishpond, that said just moving reviews up on a web page, just from the bottom to just almost in the middle, just above the middle, actually helped boost the conversions. I mean, the amount of people that bought on that page by 34%. Just that. That's all they did was move up these testimonials. That's how effective these things are. All right, now you told me this stat, which I still don't buy it. You sure about this one, the 85%?
So 85% of people trust online reviews even as more than the recommendations from their friends, which is, or as much as
Who
recommendations
said this? Who
from a
told you
close
this?
friend. Research is showing that in all, well, of course, the reputation management sites will tell you that as well.
All right. Okay, fine. So you know what else we got? Google Alerts. Robin's good at that. She's going to tell you a little bit about that. What's the deal with Google Alerts?
It's really important to know what people say about you. And, a happy customer you can find out about, but an unhappy customer you might also want to find out about, right? And
Maybe.
if
Yeah.
Google has a little ability where you can ask it to please send you emails, notifications when someone posts a review. And by getting that, you have control of a business. One of the issues that we have was that when we don't ask for a testimonial or we don't know if our customers are happy, all of a sudden something will appear on the internet and we don't know about it. So get that alert, know about it. When you know about it, you can answer that individual and take the conversation offline.
And just think
That-
of what that company could have done that if they found out that person left a video, which we're going to talk about right now. So 95% retention, is that another that's another dubious stat for me.
People remember,
right?
this is what it means. It means that you retained 95% of what you see in a video testimonial. And I'm telling you, I can tell you a week later exactly what I saw in those green
All right, so
screens.
tell us, what did you remember? Let's see if this is true. What did you remember?
I remember the rip screen, the bow top. I remember people saying it tipped over when you put it on carpet, and they showed that as well. And I'm
Wow.
thinking, oh no, this is never going to work.
You see how different, see how crazy this is? Because it's a picture, it stays in your mind. And not knocking words or anything. I mean, somebody could have described the same thing, but because you didn't just read it, you saw it, it was even more effective. You know, I remember the great copywriter Gary Benzavenga one talked about how that early, you know, way over 150 years ago, when elevators were still coming into New York, people were terrified of elevators. They just wouldn't put them in buildings. And I can't remember Otis, the man who's credited with the elevator, actually did a demonstration where they took this elevator way up, had it in the public. They cut the ropes and it fell down, and as it fell, it stopped. Right? That demonstration single-handedly was responsible for why we have elevators in New York. People instantly began to trust because they saw it, just like you saw it. That proof trumps everything. And that's what we're talking about, right? This is why it's so crazy effective. All right, so let's go on to the next. Oh my God. All right, so you got to see all these crazy.
Yeah, no, you can get them all over. You can get these reviews, put them wherever is relevant for your business. But in terms of the video testimonials, there's actually software that helps you get them from people remotely. But Kyle, you had some good ideas about what someone should say in a testimonial, especially if they want to really help you in your business.
All right, we'll talk about that side, but do you want to say anything else about these guys? Anything like, is there any one that you say, hey, listen, no matter what business you're in,
no matter what, Google, definitely get it on Google My Business, definitely get it on your business Facebook page, and definitely as an individual on LinkedIn. Those are going to give you the most power and punch. And then you pick the fourth one based on the industry that you're in.
Cool. All right. So let's go back into here. So this is a quick way to think about how you can, you know, people say this all the time. Yeah, I know, but I should get a testimonial, but I don't know. I don't know when I should. This is how you do it. Right? So think about tasks, all right? Timing, ask, and specifically, okay? So timing, the best time to ask is when they're most excited, when they give you a compliment, when they go, oh my God, you know, that was great. Thanks so much. That's when you can say is, hey, that's your ask part. Say, listen, because that really helped you out, or because you just told me that we were on time, and remind them of the results that they reminded you about. Would you be willing to offer that in a testimonial so that other people like you can find us, or other people like you can get value, right? And even if they don't, we'll talk about this if we have time. Even if they say no, we're going to show you a way that you can probably still save that, but we'll talk about it in a second. The third thing is be specific. It can't just be, yeah, you guys were good. Yeah, they were on time. No, we're going to show you we want to think about measurable results. What happened? Think about what happened exactly. Did somebody move from A to B, or whatever it was? Did they get a certain percentage increase? How did it benefit them? And then why would you recommend us to someone else? Make sure those three things are answered. What happened, right? Why? I mean, would you? How did it benefit you? And why would you recommend us to somebody else? These are key. So remember, the timing is when they're most excited. Now, Robin can help you, you know, so say somebody messes up and they go like, I didn't ask them. So how would you rescue that? Is there software? Is there stuff that you use that could help you get reviews if you don't do this system, or you forget to follow this system? What would you say?
So a couple things. I actually reach out to clients and I summarize our relationship in bullet format, reminding them using the keywords that I would like them to say. Because, you know, we all as business owners have our reviews that we've gotten, and we want a client or a customer to actually talk about something specific maybe that wasn't talked about yet. And so I give them a little nudge and I help write it, but I don't say I'm writing it. I say, here's some ideas to make your job a little easier. Then I also give them the links of where they have to upload it, because we as the owner cannot do that. We can't write our own reviews and upload them. Okay. So that's an important trick of the trade.
And you know what you just said, you kind of gave it away. When somebody says, you know what, if you especially always ask for a video first, by the way, always ask for, would you mind giving a video testimonial? And if they say no, then just say, hey, listen, you know, you've just told me, go over what they told you that they liked. Would you mind if I just used that text and sent it to you and you could sign off on it? right? Because then you're just basically repeating their words back. But make sure if they say you guys did a great job, what does that really mean? Don't just say great job, okay? So here we go. We're going to show you an example of what an effective testimonial looks like. On the left, you see very good service. This is a lot of reviews and testimonials. That stinks. I mean, it's okay, but really it doesn't have a picture like Robin was saying. There's nothing memorable about it, and it means basically nothing. They give good service. Well, that's kind of expected. But look over here on the right. We've got, at first I wasn't sure if any of the photos were good enough in comparison to the other photos I saw on the site. I uploaded a few anyway. I was startled to see how many views and downloads. There's a result I got in the first 24 hours. There's a specificity. You see that? And it also overcomes an objection, and it has kind of a feel of a transformation, which is what we're all buying anyway. So always think, if you can find a transformation, do that. So let's just round this up a little bit by saying this. So with these testimonial tips, here's what we want to do. We want to think about, if we can title something, then title it. So if you can pull out something that says, you guys boosted my sales by 400%, put that above the actual review. That will really help you on a website. So you want to use a full name and title. Look at the thing on the right here. You guys rocked on the sculpture project. Thanks very much for doing a great job. George Washington, title, right? Of course we made this up, but now look at the below. You guys rocked. Same testimonial, but anonymous. You see how it no longer has the weight. It no longer has the picture. If your location's important, that's important, right? Robin's super big on photos, right? What do you think about photos and testimonials?
Well, it just helps things work so much better. And the great thing about all of this is that everything that, Kyle, we've been talking about that goes on a website and review sites also goes on social media. And it's fantastic because you're not patting yourself on the back. Someone is telling you, other people, about how great you are. So that user-generated content is perfect for those little stories that go at the top of Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and all the rest. Okay. And they're perfect for also including in your profile in various places and as posts, regular newsfeed posts.
And we've talked about quite a few times on this show about starting with video and chopping it up into small. That's a perfect example. If you can get a video testimonial, you can not just use the video. You can take the text out of it and use it as a, use that thing for review sites. Have them, give it back to the client and say, hey, could you post what you said in the video? I've taken the liberty. I've done it for you, so you can just post it on a Yelp review or whatever. And that same kind of thing. You can use it as a story, which is amazing use of story content. So This is super powerful. So, and a lot of people will say, listen, that's nice, 400% increase in sales. My thing doesn't do that. I have a soft. Well, if that's true, if you're like, I got more energy, or something like that, or I felt healthier, see if you can do a scale of 1 to 10. Say I was a level 2 on energy after taking this product. I felt like a level 9, or I felt 10 years younger, or anything like that can tie. So you can take something that's soft and make it specific by asking this question, right?
Got it. I love that tip.
So that's another quick tip. So there you go. Oh, you know what? We talked about that before, but let's just run back here for a second. And that is, look for the transformation and overcoming objections. That will really, really help you. So let's take this. Let's land this puppy.
Before we gotta. If you guys want to give us a recommendation and a review, that would be great.
That's right.
If
you want to give us a recommendation, and by the way, we've got a Facebook group where we're talking about this kind of stuff all the time. So you can go there to facebook.com/groups and then /dynamic marketer. So listen, next week, you know what we think we should talk about maybe next week is, what about bad reviews? How do you combat those? Because you know what, if you don't have 1 or 2 bad reviews, no one's going to trust it anyway. So what do you think? Should we do that next week?
You got it. They are going to look. I look at those all the time.
So next week, let's talk about what do you do if you get a bad one, now that we showed you how to get a good one. All right, until next week.
Soon.
We're going to talk to you. All right, bye-bye from the Adman and Robin Show.
I'm Robin. He's Kyle.